Time travel done right. Time travel has come to One Piece. As we find out, Kinemon, Momonosuke and the others are actually from 20 years in the past. They were sent to the future by Lady Toki's Toki Toki No Mi. So there are a few things I wanted to talk about. How time travel works in One Piece, abilities of the Toki Toki No Mi, potential use of the fruit in the future of the story. So, it seems like the fruit has the ability to only transport people into the future, but can't take people to the past. And since you can't go to the past, it means you can't change what has already happened. What this means is that time travel in One Piece goes only in one direction, which means we avoid any parallel universes or time paradoxes. It's completely straightforward. We can think of the transportation like the freezing we have in real life. There are real people who have chosen to undergo a freezing process which would completely stop the aging process as well as stop their need for food, water and other essential things while in that state. Then whenever they wanted to be freed, for example 20 years from now, they will be unfrozen and just like that they will be in the future. Kinda reminds me of Dr. Stone where everyone turns to stone and breaks free after thousands of years. Anyway, for the person frozen, it would seem like just an instant has passed, but for everyone else, they would feel the full 20 years, whether good or bad. In One Piece it's basically the same deal. Kinemon and the others travelled through 20 years in what to them felt like an instant, but for everyone else was a full 20 years. The only difference is that, as far as we're aware at least, the bodies of those being transported don't physically remain in the world as a frozen person's body would. I'm guessing their bodies go into a different dimension until they arrive at the time of their destination. Other dimensions isn't a new thing in One Piece. It would be kinda like hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z, but instead of 1 year inside being 1 day outside, it might be 1 year outside is 1 second inside. All we've seen so far is that the fruit has the ability to transport people into the future, but I doubt that is the only ability the fruit has. So what else do you think the fruit can do? Some potential abilities include age manipulation, time window, time stop. By speeding up time for a single individual, you might be able to make them older, but probably not younger since you can't go back in time. And I know Bonnie already has this sort of ability, but we've seen so many examples of parallel abilities in One Piece. So this is still a possibility. In any case, there are theories about Momonosuke becoming older and fighting in the war, so maybe this is how it will come about. He's always talking about wanting to get big and strong, so we definitely appreciate this. Sending someone through time is like opening a door into that time for them to go through. So there's a possibility that you can also create a window into that time and see what is happening during that time. Basically, you can see the future. Interestingly, Ashura Doji once questioned why it had to be 20 years that everyone got transported through. And that's a good question. Why 20 years and not any other time? Well, here's one possibility. Toki used her window ability to look through time and found that 20 years was the best possible time. She probably saw a future where a group of people had entered Wano and incited a rebellion to fight against Kaido. And regardless of if they were winning in this battle, sending Kinemon and the others to this time to help those warriors would give them the one and only one chance to bring down Kaido. The ability to stop time for a short while. There's not much to say on this, but it seems like an ability the fruit would have. It's definitely overpowered, but it will probably have a big drawback to it as well. Personally, I think it's incredibly likely that we'll see the Toki Toki No Mi again. We all know Oda likes using characters and abilities to the fullest. It's why so many characters make appearances even after their main arc is over. Where most authors would forget about them, Oda almost always brings them back. So how would the time fruit be used in the future? First off, we're given the impression that Lady Toki died in the fire during Kaido's attack, right after she sent everyone else into the future. If she's dead, what happened to her fruit? It's almost definitely still in Wano, given its isolated nature. It's also likely that someone has already eaten the fruit since it has been 20 years already. Before I continue, I just want to give a quick spoiler warning for any anime only guys for the next part. I think the most fitting person to have the fruit is Hiyori, and interestingly, there is one point in the story where we may have already seen her use the ability, and that's when Kyoshiro cuts her down after she attacks Shogun Orochi. During that moment, even if we consider that Kyoshiro only pretended to kill her, there's still the problem of her getting out of the castle without anyone noticing, as well as the problem of her corpse. We see later that a funeral is held for her, but if she's not dead, then who are they burying? Well, the question of how she got out can be answered with a time stop. Basically, when Kyoshiro cut her, she stopped time and got out. Pretty simple really. Kyoshiro even asked her, "Are you ready?" Ready for what? Ready to stop time. As for the corpse, I don't know. He's a Yakuza. He probably has dead bodies lying around all over the place. Obviously I'm joking about the last part, but I'm sure we'll get an answer to that soon. Anyway, if Hiyori does have the ability, now I'm sure she'll help the alliance out in a critical moment. So what do you guys think? Are you worried about time travel in One Piece? Do you think we'll see the ability again? Who do you think has it now? This is Anime Talks 101, so let's talk about it. Comment down below, I wanna know your thoughts.